Danny, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. You've obviously been one of the tone-setting leaders of this defense since you got here. I'm curious why you made the decision to stay away from OTAs.
It was more of a, just looking out for myself. As much as I wanted to be here, there was a lot of stuff that was going on that I was unsure of. So I thought it was best just for me, because I know what I need for my body, just to take care of myself and get as much prepared as I can to come in here, have a great vet mini camp, and get ready for training camp.
Overall, as you look at Sean coming in as a new coordinator, I'm curious what you see as some of his strengths and how you see some of Vic's influence on him.
He knows the defense. He's been around multiple defenses, as you mentioned, around Vic's. But Sean knows, the strengths and weaknesses, and he watches a lot of film. He's a smart guy. He knows football, so I think that's gonna help us in the aspect of him putting us in the best situation possible and making the right calls and understanding who's out there and knowing how the guys can make an impact play.
Danny, good to see you. There's been a lot of talk about the defense aging a little bit. You've got, I think, 4 guys now in your 30s as starters. Are you still comfortable that you can play as close to your peak as possible? And as far as you 30-somethings, how close is everybody to 100% at this point? Can you tell?
I mean, are you comfortable being a reporter? I mean, it's my job. So you're asking questions that you already know the answer to. So I'm just going to do the best I can. Age is nothing but a number. You can try to factor that in as much as you want, but come Sunday or Monday, Thursday, wherever time it is, we'll be prepared.
But when you go out on the field on Sunday, you feel like the same guy you were as a rookie or in your second or third year?
I think after first year, you never feel like your first year. So every year is different. You just know the game better. Everything slows down. I'm just having fun and just doing my job. So, I'm just gonna play the best ball possible and let you continue talking.
That Finley?
Danny, we talked to you last year about it felt like you got off to a little bit of a slow start at the beginning of the season. Did you do anything this offseason that was different than what you had done in the years past to make sure that doesn't happen again?
I guess you'll see. I'm just trying to be prepared. Last year was our first time going through COVID. Anybody out here, not knowing, whether it's safe for you to go out there with your family or being able to go out there and do what you want to do. This year is a little bit different for me. I know what to do, and I handle it accordingly.
Mark Potash?
Hey, Danny, where does the defense have to get better? You guys were not bad last year, but you weren't up to the standards you set in 2018. So from your vantage point in the defense, where does the improvement have to come? Where do you have to get better?
You gotta be a better defense. Every year you want to be a better defense. 2018 is a totally different year. Those aspects and those standards were set, so we know where we need to get to, and we know that we have the guys that are capable of doing that. We just want to be the best defense that we can be in the league. We know we're gonna handle whatever teams throw at us. We got the right guys in right positions, guys out here communicating, and everybody knows one another now. And it's not too many new guys on the team, but the new guys that came in, they buy in. And, that's what you love to see, especially when you're a vet like I am. You like to see guys buy in. It makes it much more easier. I'm glad we got out here to come. I'm glad we came out here and showed them, how we do it. It was no slack. We was flying around, and, it was definitely fun being back out there.
Thank you.
No problem.
Adam Johns?
Hey, Danny, to go back to Coach Desai a little bit, what were your first impressions of him at practice yesterday, having him run the show as coordinator? And then what's he like over Zoom, especially during the OTA portion, the voluntary portion? What's he like in charge of everything is what I'm getting at.
He's down to earth, but, he goes in detail. He knows it. He knows his defense. He communicates well. Even when he wasn't a coach, he would still say little things about each position. He knew each position. He can give you little details that sometimes some people might miss. He just really, he bought into being, a defensive coordinator, and he loves being that. He waited for his opportunity for a long time, like all of us, our dream jobs. and he's making the most out of it. Like, we feel his presence because we know Sean, we've been around him, and he's owning the defense, and he's holding standards high, and that's what you love. You know, he's not letting nobody take no jogs off, no seconds off, and everybody is being accountable about that.
Brad Biggs?
Hey, Danny, I'm curious for your position and what you're asked to do. What's the difference when you've got Eddie Goldman on the field in front of you and when he's not on the field? And that's not to, say anything negative about guys that have tried to fill his role also, but what's he like when he's playing in front of you? What's that do for your job? And do you think you guys will see him in training camp?
Eddie Goldman, he's a silent killer, man. Works his tail off. He loves his job. He's one of the guys that just does his job, don't really talk too much, but he works his tail off. Unfortunately, we didn't have him last year. It's going to be great to have him this year. I know he's going to be here. He's been working his tail off. He looked totally different. I've been communicating with him as much as possible. He's a tough guy to get in contact with, but he loves us. He loves the Bears organization. He loves the defense. So he's going to come in here ready to work.
And we have time for one more. Deion Miller.
Danny, you mentioned how much fun it is to just be out there together, having not had this time a year ago. What is the vibe you're getting as the team comes together this week? I know it's June, but what's the energy like out there right now?
Oh man, it's lovely. Like, you can feel it when we're out there. I was watching film and I was getting excited. Just the energy, everybody's excited to be out here. We're making plays. We're flying around. We're communicating well. That's what I love to see a lot. We're out here trying to make nobody loose on the play. Nobody, not knows what to do on the play, and everybody's in the right position in each play. And you can see it. You can feel the energy. You can feel the juice, the swag coming back. Like, that's what I'm big on, having that swag and that attitude out there. Celebrate when you make your plays, have fun, and hold the guys accountable. And I think that's the big difference this year, is holding the guys most accountable this year.